Past freezing temperatures sometime today.
Yeah, some parts of New York are under a wind chill advisory, which means frostbite could set in just 30 minutes. The city's Office of Emergency Management is making sure New Yorkers stay safe and protected. First Deputy Commissioner Megan Pribram joins us this morning with some emergency preparedness tips. Good morning, Commissioner. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So the first question, has OEM already activated its emergency response teams to respond to this frigid, cold weather?
We are activated 24/7, 365 days a year, and so we remain activated for this cold weather. We've also increased our communications we're in constant communication with our National Weather Service and our weather vendors, and then also talking to our city partners to make sure that they're prepared as well.
Yeah, you know, our reporter, I don't know if you saw or if you caught the report earlier from Monica Morales, did a story yesterday in the Bronx of residents who are without heat in their apartments in a NYC complex. Is your office helping the city find a place for those residents to go and stay warm?
So for anybody who is without heat, we encourage them to contact their building management, whether that's NYCHA or whether that's their own superintendent. If they're having any trouble, they can also contact 311, and the building management should be working with them.
But in the meantime, is there a place for them to go?
I'm not sure, for the NYCHA facility, I would suggest directing folks to NYCHA for that. We don't open warming centers. We really want people to stay warm inside, and so we ask people to stay inside during this extreme cold, and again, to contact their building management if they don't have heat. HPD also has extra inspectors on so that they can respond to 311 if there are 311 complaints.
But so at this point, the city isn't opening any heating centers, or are you opening these heating centers during these?
We don't have warming centers open the same way that we do for the cold or for the heat in the summer. So we really encourage people to work with their building management to get that heat back on if they need to, and we don't want people going outside if it is cold. So we would rather people stay indoors when, most buildings retain some heat, and to work to get their heat back on.
Is your office working with the Department of Homeless Services, really, right, to provide a place for the homeless to at least go? I know you're not saying there's no warming centers for the general public, but homeless, what are they doing?
Absolutely, and that's one of the first strategies that we have. And so the Department of Homeless Services has activated Code Blue, which means they increase their outreach. Nobody who needs shelter will be turned away. So they are increasing their outreach. We also encourage New Yorkers to look out for folks, and if they see somebody who may be in trouble, to call 311 and report that, so that then DHS can dispatch an outreach team.
Yeah, it's also a good time to remind folks to check on maybe an older neighbor that might have some issues with the heat. Your office also helped set up a service center for the victims of Sunday's deadly fire in the Bronx. So what does that look like right now, and how can victims access these services?
Absolutely. So thanks very much. We've got a site open at Monroe College's Houston Hall. They're open from noon to 8 daily, and so people can go to access services if they've been impacted by the fire. We have Red Cross there with us. We have Department of Social Services with us. We have HPD with us, ASPCA, a number of agencies and partners to provide services for people who are impacted.
Yeah. Speaking of that fire, there's just so many updates that are coming out about the tragedy there in the Bronx. Any updates that you can provide right now? I'm not sure who is taking the lead here moving forward, but any updates?
So we're working really closely. We're at the scene to be able to. So as people are able to go back to their apartments, to make sure that they're able to access for anybody that can return. And again, if people can't return, hotels are being provided for people who can't return to their homes. We're working really closely with all of those agencies on scene to coordinate the effort there.
Got it.
All right. Thanks so much for that update. We really appreciate it. Commissioner Pribram, thanks again for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right.